Hi guys, and welcome to today's practice. Today we're going to do a quick 30-minute flow. So we're actually going to get started at the back of our mats. So just find yourself in a standing position with your shoulders rested, closing your eyes here. We're going to do a little bit of stillness, a little bit of self-awareness in standing. So we normally do it seated, but with standing there's a little bit more shakes that can come up, so it tests us a bit more. So check that we're not like popping out our hips here or our behind, that we're really stacking our hips and our body all on top of each other. Shoulders down again, chest forward. Imagine we're getting pulled up with a string. Can we stand a bit taller? The palms of your hands are facing forward. You're relaxing between your eyes, around your jaw. And as it's a quick flow, we go through the breath work a little bit faster. Today we're going to just do 3 counts or 3 rounds of 4, 7, 8. So inhaling for 4, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8. So let's steady the breath. This breath work is really to slow down, to bring awareness to your breath. The holds, making sure that we're not tensing at the shoulders. The exhale, making sure you're taking it slow. If you let it all through in count of 2, then you have no air for the last 6. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's inhale together for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last round, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Coming back to your natural breath, you guys can open your eyes here. Noticing what's in front of you, what's around you. And your next inhale, we're taking our hands to the sides, bringing them up, looking up at our fingertips, reaching up. And on our exhale, we're taking our left hand to our right wrist, and we're pulling this right hand, right arm, up and to the left. So really noticing the stretch on the right side of our body here. Reaching. Feel free to close your eyes here, checking that we're not closing our chest, that we're really still shining our chest forward. Exhale, back to center, looking up. Exhale, grabbing that left wrist this time, bringing it over to the right. Holding it here. Throughout today's practice, really following your breath with each movement, making your breath a priority over the movements. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we're going to reach a little bit further back. Coming back to center, inhale. Exhale, bringing your hands down to prayer. Once they get to your chest, we then start to fold at the hips. Letting your body here just hang heavy. Feel free to grab opposite elbows. Dropping your head. Maybe moving your head from side to side, waking it up. Gently, thighs to stomach. Coming down to a yogic squat, so you might need to move your stance a bit wider. We're going to take our elbows to the insides of our knees, hands to our chest. Breathing out here. Closing your eyes. Inhale, taking your hands again up to the sky. Exhale, bringing them down to the ground. we're gonna come into a forward fold again. Checking that your feet are under your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Pushing your shins away to flatten your back, or you can bring your fingertips to the ground. Exhale, we're walking our hands into a high plank. Dropping your knees, untucking your toes into a tabletop. From here, making sure that your hands are directly under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We're gonna inhale, push the ground away, tailbone into the sky, chest forward, looking up. Exhale, rounding our spine to the sky. Drop that head, tuck under your tailbone. A few cat-cows to wake up the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Really being super dramatic with your movements. Following your own breath. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Coming back to a neutral spine. Lifting our toes, we're lifting our knees. From here, extending that left leg, pushing back into a three-legged down dog. Inhale, coming back to a right knee, hovering, dropping that left knee. Inhale, right leg comes up, kicking it up, bending at the knee if you'd like. Exhale, bringing it back down, tucking our toes, lifting both knees, hovering. Inhale, right leg goes up to the sky, three-legged down dog. Exhale, coming back to a hover, dropping this right knee, left leg goes up. You can just lift that left straight leg, or you can bend and kick up. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees. Exhale, left leg goes up, three-legged down dog, bringing those hips to the back of the room. Inhale, coming forward, dropping the left knee, right leg comes up, bend the knee if you'd like, kicking up. One more round, guys. Inhale, both knees to the ground first. Inhale, lifting both knees. Exhale this time, right leg goes up. Exhale, coming down, bringing it down. Left leg goes up. Back into a tabletop position. Tuck our toes, lift our knees, coming into a high plank. On your next inhale, we're going forward in our tiptoes. Exhale, we're coming back, waking up our core. Noticing when we come back just a slight bit that you feel this in your hamstrings. Check your hips aren't high. We're not coming into a down dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more time. Exhale. This time lifting your hips, down dog. Noticing how you feel in your first down dog. Pedaling out those feet. Pushing the ground away, really lengthening your back. If we start with a long back today, we're going to really carry forward with it in our practice. On your next inhale, we're bending both knees, looking forward, hopping or stepping to the front of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, release. Shaking it off. Letting your arms come from side to side, getting a slight twist. And coming back to center. Inhale, hands forward to the sky. Exhale, bringing them down to prayer, folding at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground, meeting me in a high plank. Gently lowering your knees, lowering down. Inhale, push the ground away, look up. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift that left leg. bending at the knee, and we're going to do little circles with our hip. Whatever direction you like. Noticing the movement in our hip, noticing that right leg taking all the support. Exhale, we're going to carry this left knee forward in between our hands. Looking forward, hands are squaring that foot. And we're just practicing a bit of swaying. Check that your back is straight here. If we need blocks on the side, let's do that. And whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, taking your hands to the sky. Warrior one. Looking forward, shining that chest forward. Knees on top of that ankle. Holding it here for 3. For 2. And on 1, we're taking our hands behind us, interlacing our fingers. Inhale, squeezing those shoulder blades together. You can even take your hands down that right thigh. Exhale, release, taking your hands down to the ground. Taking this left leg back, meeting me in a high plank. Drop your knees if you'd like, otherwise lower down, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg or right knee to the sky. Bending at the knee now, if we're not there already. And we're doing circles with this hip. And whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, carrying this right foot forward. We're squaring this right foot. We're looking forward. Maybe we're swaying. We're just getting comfortable here. And on your next inhale, taking your hands in front of you, coming into warrior one. Noticing any shakes. Noticing really the strong base on our right foot. Shine your chest forward, hands a bit more further back. Exhale, we take these hands behind us. Interlace your fingers, squeezing those shoulder blades together. We're holding it here, breathing in. Exhale, release your hands down to the ground, meeting me again in a high plank. Option to drop your knees, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting this left leg to the sky. Exhale, carrying it forward in between your hands. Squaring your foot, looking forward, inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, pivoting that back foot to a 45-degree angle, coming into a warrior two, looking over those left fingertips. Super strong, active arms. Exhale, taking your left forearm to your left thigh. Inhale, right arm comes up and over. Holding it here for 3, reaching to the front of the room. For 2. And 1, gently coming back into a warrior two. We're going to inhale, leaning this front hand. We're going to inhale, flipping this front hand upside down, leaning forward, and coming back. Reaching to the back, holding it here for 3. Reverse warrior. For 2. And on 1, gently, warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, coming down into triangle. So we take our hands to either our shin, to our ankles, to the ground, looking up at those right fingertips. Looking at your hips are squared to the side of the room. Looking up, reaching up for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently taking this right hand down to the ground, to the inside of that left foot, coming up on those back toes, bending this front leg. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Looking up at those fingertips. Reaching up for 3. For 2. And on 1, we drop this back knee and we take this left hand behind us. Now, if we can't get all the way back, that's totally fine. You can just stay simply here or wherever you're at. If we want to go a bit further, we try. Otherwise, we're going to keep trying to bring this hand down to meet our foot. Carrying this back foot in towards us. You're going to feel this in the front of your right thigh. Holding it here for 3. Looking over that left shoulder for 2. And on 1, gently release. Left hand to the sky, tucking those back toes. Holding it here. Changing it up. We're going to take our left hand to either our ankle or to our shin. We're bringing this back foot to a 45-degree angle. Right hand to the sky, coming back into triangle, looking up at those right fingertips. Gently bending this front knee, making your way into a warrior 2. Looking over those left fingertips. Inhale, flipping this hand upside down, leaning forward as we come back into a reverse. Reaching to the back of the room, right hand goes down that right leg. Gently coming back up on your inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, taking your left forearm to your left thigh. Right hand comes up and over. Reaching to the front. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Coming forward with both hands, coming up on that back toe, warrior 1. Reaching to the back. Exhale, hands down to the ground, meeting in a high plank. Drop your knees if you'd like, otherwise lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Catching your breath here in down dog. That was a long sequence there. When you're closing your eyes, push the ground away. Feel free to bend the knees or to bend one and then the other. And on your next inhale, we're lifting this right leg. Exhale, we carry it forward in between our hands. Squaring your foot, looking forward. Bringing your hands up to the side. Looking up at your fingertips, warrior 1. Exhale, pivoting that back foot to a warrior 2. Looking over your right fingertips. Knees on top of that ankle. Holding it here for 3. Strong arms, making sure you're not bunching at the shoulders for 2. And on 1, right forearm to right thigh. Left hand comes up and over, reaching to the front. Holding it here. For 3. For 2. And on 1, gently coming back up, warrior 2. Flipping this front hand upside down, leaning forward as we come back. Left hand comes down that left leg. Reaching into warrior, into a reverse warrior. In for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently coming up, warrior 2. Straightening out that front leg. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, we come down to either shin to ankle to ground. Left hand to the sky, shifting your gaze up to the left hand for 3. Reaching up for 2. And on 1. And on 1, taking this left hand down to the ground. We're bending this front knee, coming up on those back toes. right hand to the sky. Looking up at those right fingertips for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently coming back down. Gently coming back down, taking your right hand to your right ankle or your right shin, bringing your back foot to a 45-degree angle, straightening out this front leg, left hand to the sky, back into a triangle pose. Looking up at those left fingertips. Inhale, bending this front knee, coming back into a warrior 2. Flipping this front hand, leaning forward as we come back, reverse warrior. Reaching back. Gently exhale into warrior 2. Taking your forearm down to your thigh. Left hand comes up and over, reaching to the front. And back to warrior 2. From here, bringing your hands to the front, lifting them up, coming up on those back toes, back into a warrior 1. Reaching up and back. Exhale, taking your hands down to the ground, coming back into a high plank. Drop your knees if you'd like, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bending at the knees, looking forward. We're gonna hop or step to the front of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Looking up at your fingertips. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the ground, meeting me in a high plank. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bending your knees, looking forward. We're going to hop or step to the front of our mat, coming into a seated position, taking your feet out in front of you. We're going to come into boat pose. Option to have your hands behind you, lifting your legs. Otherwise, extending your arms to your sides. We're going to come down onto our backs, counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing your heels towards you so that with our fingertips we can touch our heels. Our feet are as wide as our hips. On your next inhale, lifting your hips to the sky. Tuck under those shoulder blades. Interlace your fingertips. Feel this gentle pressure on your shoulders, on your neck. Inhale here. Holding it here for 3, or chin to chest. Imagine you have a block in between your knees. Can we really keep our knees in line with our hips here? For 2. And on 1, gently release, hips down to the ground, knees into chest. Rocking from side to side, massaging that lower back. Gently release, feet back down to the ground, and make sure your alignment's correct, that you can touch your feet. Inhale, hips to the sky, tuck under those shoulder blades, round 2. Check that you're squeezing that imaginary block in between your knees. Holding it here for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently release, coming into a happy baby, grabbing the outsides of your feet. Rocking from side to side. From here, we're going to bring our feet back down for one more round of bridge. The same deal, or we're going to come up into wheel. So if we come up into wheel, again, check your alignment with your feet and your heels, taking your hands behind you, Now, just like we watch our knees, we have to watch our elbows as well. So check that your elbows don't fly out to the side. We really want them to be in line with our shoulders. Inhale, coming up to bridge or into wheel. Squeeze the imaginary block for 3. For 2. In on 1, gently coming down. Knees into chest. We're going to take our right ankle to the front of our left thigh or left ankle, or left knee, sorry. Taking your hands to the front of that left knee. And we're just applying gentle pressure, bringing this knee into our chest, really opening that right hip. Holding it here. You feel free to close your eyes. We're holding it for another 2. And 1. Gently release this left leg down to the ground, right knee into our chest. Left hand to right knee, carrying it up and over our body to the left side. Right hand extend to the right side. We're holding it here for our last pose before Shavasana for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently bringing this knee back into your chest. Lifting your left leg, let's switch it up. Left foot to right thigh or right knee. Taking your hands to the outside or the front of that right knee and bringing it into your chest for 3. For 2. And on 1, we release that right leg down to the ground. Right hand to left knee, carrying it up and over to the right side. Left hand to the left side for 3. For 2. And on 1, gently bringing it into your chest, giving it a squeeze, and release. Hands open to the sky. Meeting me in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here for the next few minutes.